Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob here. As we mentioned in a previous episode, because it was a few minutes ago for us, um, we have a golf tournament coming up. When this comes out, this is Thursday's episode, will be like a week and a
Yeah, something
half-ish.
like that.
June 9th, is the tournament. So shout out to Mass Golf, by the way. I've talked about it before. Because 2 years ago, I got to play at Pawtucket Country Club. Because Mass Golf does this thing called Member Days. It's a lottery system. So you effectively enter the lottery they have like 20 to 25 courses um, that you can enter into and for a chance to play there, right? They're all private courses. They're all very nice. I've done it every year now for the last 3 years, obviously. So 2 years ago, I got picked for Pawtucket Country Club. That was the first time ever I had played a legitimate competitive round of golf. And I shot an 86. Right. I just sort of really liked Pawtucket Country Club after that. I'm sure if I go back, I'll probably shoot a 96 and then fucking hate the place again. But um, last year, I didn't get picked at all for any of the member days. I entered probably the same amount of lotteries that I've entered all 3 years now. So I didn't get to play anywhere last year. And this year, I got picked in the lottery for Plymouth Country Club. So on June 9th, we'll be going there, and I got two entries. So you have to have a gin handicap, right? Through it doesn't technically, I don't think, need to be through Mass Golf. You just have to have a gin handicap.
Yeah,
Um,
well, this is your Mass Golf is the provider,
yeah,
provided you are in Massachusetts, I would assume.
yeah.
They might let you in if you're Rhode Island, but
If you're a guest, like if I wanted
yeah,
to bring someone that was a Rhode Island golf person, like I'm sure they'd probably allow that. Um, but you can't enter the lottery system unless you're in Mass Golf. Um, so yeah, I've never played there, obviously. It's a private course. But you've played there four
I've probably played
times?
there 6 or 7 times. I
All
think
right.
I've played mid-am practice round, qualifying practice round. I've probably played there six. That would be my guess, 6 times. I've played it in a monsoon, and I've also played it in 40-mile-an-hour winds. So I feel as though I've covered
Yeah.
a lot of what Plymouth has to offer. So, um, a little bit about the course. So it's our boy Donnie Ross.
Mhm.
And it's probably one of his because I forget if I forget if Pawtucket's a Don Ross. I don't really
I
remember.
think it is. Yeah. Pretty
So if
sure
it
it is.
is, it's not like the Wannamoisits of the world, which is in that area. It's less like a Weano, Oyster Harbor's Picasset. Um, it's the elements are still there, but it's like way less kind of tricked out because Weano, Plymouth, Picasset, I put those like kind of in the same category where it's like their greens are just fucking hard. Like they're just fucking hard to
Yeah.
play. Um and that's kind of because generally speaking, a Don Ross course, you can spray it a bit off the tee. You just gotta like you can keep it in play, and it's like, yeah, if you don't hit it good, you'll find the golf ball, but then yes, strategically you are now further back, or you have a harder shot, or a shittier lie, whatever it is.
Right.
But usually you'll find your golf ball, generally speaking. Plymouth also since 2018, which was the first time I played it, they have undergone massive, massive, massive tree removal.
Oh,
Massive tree
like
removal.
Oakmont style tree removal?
Yes. Like not kidding, yes.
Oh,
Like
wow.
because there were times from 18 to like 19 or from 19 to 21. I forget what I did. It doesn't matter. But in between times I've played, I like didn't recognize certain parts of the course.
Oh
And
wow.
then I followed a guy that's at Plymouth and he kind of outlined some of the things that are going on. So now it's like, okay, now I kind of expect it, but like used to be like tree lined of fucking tree lined, trees fucking everywhere. And it's like they just got rid of them all. Um, so that and with that, like they've done work on the core, so it's like it's really improved in the last like 7 years or so. Because I think in the 7 years before that, like they were the type of club where it was like, hey, if you join for 2019, you can have the last 4 months of 2018 for free.
Yeah, yeah.
And like they kind of were taking like everyone. I think it was fairly low cost. I don't think it's like that anymore.
Yeah.
Uh, Plymouth Country Club also every year hosts the Hornblower, in the senior Hornblower, which is one of the better amateur golf tournaments in Massachusetts. Um, so it's like it's a legit course. It like it really is, and like they've started taking care of it, so it's like it's good. Like it is.
I just looked
The
up, by the way, sorry, the Pawtucket Country Club was at Willie Park. It
Okay,
is
that's
not
why I was gonna
Donald
say because I
Ross.
don't think that's Donald Ross.
Yeah.
I think people confuse it because Donald Ross did Agawam Hunt, Metacomet, which is barely there anymore, and Wannamoisit, which are all four courses are in the same area.
Yeah.
Um, so Plymouth, you can like it. You will find your golf ball off the tee. Um, it's a par 69. That's why like the total yardage
Okay.
seems, but like the total yardage seems low. So it's like. But it's interesting because the long and hard holes are fucking long and hard, and then the rest of them are kind of fine. Only one par five, so um, that's kind of yeah, that's kind of like the gist of like how it's like laid out, whatever. But going back to it, um, the greens can be fucking crazy, like they can be absolutely crazy, and the seventh green and the eighth green are not fucking fair. Like you just have to know that now, and you just
Good.
have like you will see what happens and be like, okay, like the seventh and eighth, like you could very realistically
Make a
uh,
7 or an 8.
like you might four putt, like that's what I'm telling,
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy depending on where they put the pins.
Right.
So seven's a par four. You can hit driver, you can lay it back, doesn't really matter. You're hitting to a big elevation, and it's like up there. The green is just fucking diabolical. Like it's got a false front, it's got a ridge going through the middle. It just fucking sucks. It's like don't hit it short, don't hit it long, don't hit it left, don't hit it right.
Put it dead
Like,
center in the middle. Got it.
well, no, it's like but like even that, like depending on where the pin is, it's like that
Yeah,
might
you're
not
gonna
be
be on the
good.
ridge. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so seven is fucking crazy, and then you go right into eight. Eight's a par three, and the green is like back to front. And if the wind is blowing, it's gonna be a joke. And there's a lot of times where it's like you may hit the green, the ball runs to the front, you may chip the ball, it comes back to your feet, then you chip it long and three putt from 5 feet, like, and then you just sit there like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, yeah.
So the only thing I don't know is it'll be a Monday, so I don't know if the greens will be a little more tame because they also know like, hey, mass golf is coming, not like like a tournament.
Right, right, right.
So they may not have them running, but they also may want to show off the course and be like, hey, this is what we are. This is who we are and what we do. So it's
Right.
like, yeah, you're gonna three putt six times. You're gonna putt off the front at some point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's like the greens at that place are just nuts. So that's why when you were like, oh, well, the tees, I'm like, the tees don't matter. I go, it really doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go, because it's all about those greens. And yeah, don't get me wrong. It's like, I think it's like 11 and 12 are back to back par fours. They're both pretty tricky. 12's long. 12's a long hole. It's a hard tee shot. It's probably the only like tee shot where you can lose the ball. You may not, but like it's the only one that really, really makes you like look at it and be like, oh, this is not like the others. Because again, like there are some hard tee shots and you need to play strategically, whatever. But again, it's like the worst thing that happens on a lot of them is just like you have a long way in.
Yeah.
This one, like nine, sort of like that. 12 is sort of like that. I mean, 11, I've just noticed 11 just seems like a hard ball to get to the green. I don't know why. It's like it always seems like it plays a little bit longer. It always seems like it's a long shot in. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
I
like
pulled it up now. The members division from the gold tees that we're both in is like 6,100. It's 6,155.
yeah,
And then the men's division, which was the white tees, was 58.35. And I saw that and I was like, 58 just feels really short. Like I usually try and play around 62, right? Like somewhere between 60 and 64. And like 62 is like the sweet spot, I feel like for me. Um, but I
yeah,
saw
and that's the thing though. Since it's par 69, it plays longer.
true. And
But
I realized that, after the fact that,
yeah, but again, it's like it's not really the problem because that's the thing is the white tees you'd just be laying up, or you'd be taking less club off the tee, which can, sometimes it doesn't even help.
right.
And then those same holes would still be a bear. That's and
Yeah.
actually it might make them trickier because then it's like
Yeah, because
you
now
might run out of space.
you got a 3/4 52 wedge, right, versus a full
Or not even
pitching
that. It's just
wedge.
like looking out at the hole. So like 9 and 12 specifically, they're not hard. Nine's a hard dog leg. Um, so nine, it's like you really kind of need to be in the right spot to have a good look at the green. Otherwise, you just kind of hit one and
Yeah.
like, okay, I can get up and down, or it's a bogey, whatever. I just move on. Um, 12 though, like if it's too close, like you might be like it might be like, hey, driver could go too far into the
Yeah.
woods,
Yeah.
but a hybrid's gonna leave like 190 in.
Yeah.
So like that's the problem sometimes with just moving up. Um,
Right. Right.
and then every other hole like kind of like wouldn't matter. So that's kind of like the weird thing where and that's why I told you I'm like the tees literally don't matter. And again, it's all about those fucking greens. And I think that's how you need to play the place too. It's almost like you don't worry about any other style of golf. You don't worry about playing it like some other thing. You just think about it like, what the fuck do I need to do here to get this golf ball in that hole without
Yeah.
putting it off the front or whatever?
Yeah. You gotta I gotta start working on my lag putts.
Oh, you got to go start putting in a fucking gym
Yeah, I
like
know,
Tiger
right?
before the Masters. Yeah, and then like there have been times depending on wind, I have not been able to reach par fours there. And it just you just I'm like I just can't get there.
Yeah.
So play like it's so stupid. Just play what's in front of you. Like seems like a novel approach, right? But like
Yeah.
that's part of the problem is you try to take off more than you can. You try to like because everyone always, oh, Donald Ross got to be below the hole. It's like, yeah, but like when there's a false front and a bunker short, like you don't want to be that below the hole.
Right, right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Are there a lot of bunkers?
at the greens.
Okay.
There's
Because
not a lot of
I
there's
feel
not a lot of
like
fairway bunkers.
it's usually one or the other. I mean, hey, I'm not a fucking architect, clearly, but I feel like, and I know they just did the Reno too, but I feel like courses that don't have a lot of trees have a little bit more bunkers, right? And then vice versa. Like I feel like it's kind of one or the other.
Yeah, so I think if we were to really evaluate that, like, because every golf course has its own challenge, right? And
Yeah.
it's Plymouth Country Club's challenge are the greens. So it's almost like yeah, yeah, okay, and it's like each like it is a well-designed course. I think like back in the like way back in the day when they put the highway in, they did have to move some stuff around, but like it's mostly original, it's mostly good. We're starting on four, which is gonna
Yeah.
feel like it should be the first tee, but it's not. And like that's a good hole to start on because the fifth hole, the one we play after that, it's got a punch bowl green, and some people consider it like one of the better holes in the state.
Oh wow.
I used to care about shit like that, and then I realized that you're all fucking nerds, and I don't care about shit like that. Because then you hear it's like, oh wow, what a great par four. I'm like, you just say that because it's long. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing great about it. It's just long.
Yeah, there's nothing particularly special
You're like,
about
what's
it.
so special about it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, it's a demanding tee shot and a hard approach. It's like, yes, because it's long.
Yeah, it's like what is it? I don't know how long. Was it like 470 or something?
Well, I was gonna say, like, depending on the place, but they always say, oh, nice, a nice good, and then that's the other thing is par threes need to be like long or really, really short. Anything in the middle is like stupid,
Right.
according to these people. Um, but no, it's like they vary up the shots, so it's like the fourth hole, um, you can run out of fairway, so it's like you got to hit something. I don't know, whatever the yardage is that day. Fifth hole, it's like that's a blind approach, like. Got to be kind of like I think that's another one you lay up off the tee. Five is a go is a I'm sorry, six is a
It's a very long. Oh no, that's a short
no,
par
six is
four.
short. Six is
Yeah.
short. So you can try to go for it or you just kind of hit a 5 iron off the tee and a wedge in like
Yeah.
um seven, like I told you, that green is crazy, but the tee shot not difficult.
Yeah.
Not difficult at all.
Yeah. Eight is a
Par
relatively
3.
short par three. It's
Yep.
140.
Like I said, so that's your back-to-back unfair greens, 7 and 8, and then nine's a beast.
Yeah.
Nine's a beast.
405 yard par four.
405, and if you don't play to the like, if you don't take the corners correctly, you have a very long shot going in.
Yeah. There's one, two, three, four par fours on the front that are 400 yards or longer. Two, two is 410, four is 400, five is 405, nine is 405. So two, four, five, and
So
nine.
two's a beast. Four is a good challenge. Five plays downhill, so it plays shorter,
Okay.
and then nine's a beast.
Yeah.
But
And
nine, that's
on
my
the
thing though. Like
back
if
too,
you're out of
there's
position, if you're out of position on nine, and you just like accept it's like, okay, let me just make sure that this becomes a bogey, not a double. Then it's the challenge is out. It's
oh,
because you're out of position.
they changed the scorecard. It's a par 70 now. There's
What's the so the
two
par
par
five is
fives on the
16.
back.
It's 16 and what?
12.
Oh, that's so interesting.
That's a short par five. That's a
Uh,
445 yard par five.
and it plays downhill. So 12 was a par four. Hold on. Are you sure you have the correct, like this is like the
I'm
mail card and
Plymouth Country Club from the Gold Tees. Oh, why do they have gold? Oh, hold on. There's an L next to that.
that's ladies. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So it is a par 69 then.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say there's no that wouldn't have made any sense. Um,
Yeah, I just clicked gold. I didn't bother looking at like it's
who
weird
was
that they
for?
have different ratings on the same tee for men and women. I
Yeah,
feel
well
like you
that's
don't
because the
see
thing
that.
if the women want to play that, they need their own
Yeah.
um force rating.
Yeah.
Because the women can play that again. It's like
Right.
good players would play from there.
Yeah, so 12 is the number one handicap,
Yeah, 12's hard.
which I guess that makes sense as to why they made that a par five for the women.
Yeah, no, that's a hard
If
hole.
it's the hardest hole in the course.
It's a hard hole and it's a long hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because if making that a par five, that actually that's like oh what a great par four. It's like yeah, that's the hole.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
12.
Now that went from a short par five to a very long par four,
Yeah, and like I said,
445 yards.
it plays downhill, so it takes some of the yardage out of it. But no, it's a beat. Like that's a beast.
Yeah.
That's a hard hole.
Oh, what a great hole. Can't wait.
Great par four. Um,
Yeah, I mean the par threes are kind of no joke, dude. Like the three is
three and
210.
yeah, three, three. Yeah, three's. That's our
So
last hole, so we got plenty of build up before. But yeah,
yeah, I
three.
mean, I know you said eight about the green, but that's only 140, but
Yeah, the green's
you have
crazy.
the green. And then the two par threes on the back are 175 and 190. Like that's nothing to shake a stick at. Like those are
Yeah,
pretty good distances. Like
and ten plays uphill.
that's a 6 iron and a hybrid
10 plays uphill and 15,
or seven and a six maybe.
and then 15 mostly plays flat, but it's an elevated green. So it's like surrounded by bunkers.
Yeah.
Um yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, then the 505 par
It's a par five.
five. Yeah. That's not bad. That's I feel like that's what is the par five at Chamawa? Because I know that's short.
Yeah, so the par five um at Plymouth, it's less about can I get home in two? It's more if you go for it in two, can you put a good enough strike on that ball so that it doesn't come careening? Because it's one of those like not false
Yeah.
fronts. The green's elevated so the ball will run away. Like if you don't get there, the ball kind of funnels back down to the bottom of a hill.
Okay, so the par five at Chamawa, the seventh hole is 445 yards from the Blues, 427 from the Whites. Okay. So that I'm just trying to figure out like because I play there so much, like you know, the average distance. So basically that would be like playing the seventh hole as a par four for that for the 12th
For
hole.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I mean though. It's like if you play the golf course like to like say you sit there to your abilities and go, okay, what is reasonable and realistic like for me? And even if you want to go to like the handicap holes, right? Whatever, it's like if you make a bogey on the holes that you would be getting one on, you're keeping pace with your
Right.
handicap
Right.
in your course handicap. So it's like if you look at 12 and go, wow, how am I supposed to get on in two? Like I got such a long shot in. It's like, dude, just hit
I'm
something
getting
short
a
of the green. Like
stroke.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
Like
so
you're
I'm getting a
like,
stroke so I can play it as a par five.
yeah. So it's like just hit something to the wide part and then just,
I think that's how a little bit I played so well at Pawtucket because I knew obviously the holes I was getting strokes on. So I kind of had that mindset of basically like, okay, this is a par five, right? Like, yeah, it's a
yeah.
four, but like I can play it as a par five and come out with a net par.
Yeah. And it's like some of these, like like these holes, like two, I've not reached the second hole. It's 2 and 12. I've not reached two and I've not reached 12 before,
Yeah.
like in tournament play, because I've only played it in practice rounds and tournaments. So it's like,
Right.
but so one, I don't have an option. Like I hit the shot that I thought was going to get there and I couldn't reach
Right. Right.
outside of like trying to hit a three wood. I'm like, but I can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. So you're left with a chip, hit a good chip
Right.
or hit a good putt. I don't know which one.
Right.
Or you walk off with five and it's like, okay. Cause it's like even myself, I'm going to be like on the card, like I'll be getting like five or something. Now, like, yes, I would be like, I would be hopefully trying to play the gross, but a 74 at Plymouth, yeah, sign me up. Like, if they said you can have a 74 right now, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
give us $200 and you can have a 674 right now. Yes, like
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's that. So that like, and that's the thing is like, I'm trying to learn how to do that, and I still fucking obviously still fuck it up. Um, but yeah, that's because that's the thing is like, usually I'm not usually getting strokes. I'm usually giving them. So then it's like, you know, my opponent can play this hole as a five.
Right.
So I gotta like kind of make something happen. And then it's like, or you could just, do what you need to do and whatever happens, happens. Like you can only play your own game. I'm like, there's
Right.
definitely something to be learned from that.
Yeah.
Just actually
Yeah, I
doing
think
it.
it takes a little bit of that pressure off. Like getting strokes on a hole, it's because it's a different mindset too, right? And like a little bit for me, like I like competition. Like I've always liked being in like a competitive setting. So it like gets the juices up a little bit more for me. But other than that, um, it's the mindset, right? Like if I'm just going like I'm playing tomorrow. I have a tee time tomorrow at Chamawa. But like when I step on the tee box, it's like, okay, yeah, I mean it's a par four, right? So I'm gonna play it as a par four. But and I know like you could theoretically apply my
That's what I
handicap
mean. Like
still to
you
that.
could dot
Like
your card before you play every
I
time.
could, yeah, yeah. And
I
I
don't,
know
but you know what? I don't like that for you at Chamawa because um
I
what I'm
also,
saying about Plymouth, it's like we just went over this. It's a 445-yard fucking hole. Like
yeah,
normally when you play, that's a par five for you because you
right,
just said that at Chamawa. It's the same
right,
distance.
right.
So it's like, okay, so I'm gonna like really stress myself on the drive and then try to like, sling a hybrid in there. It's like, no.
Yeah,
Unless that's the shot you see, in which case, yes, like go nuts.
right, right.
But, like, and then especially too with Plymouth, if you are out of position, just fucking concede the shot. Like, just fucking give it up
Yeah,
because you can make an eight there so easily.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
so
which hole? Any of them.
that's the other thing too about playing at Chemawa is because I played there so much and I could literally play there with my eyes closed. Like I've been in every poor position you could potentially be in. I've been in every great position. I've hit amazing shots. I've hit terrible shots. Like I know that course so well that like sometimes when I go and I play, I'm like, I'm gonna push it a little bit, right? Like I'm gonna do something crazy with this one, right? Because like again, knowing my game and like I'm relatively consistent enough, I know that like on the 10th hole, right? For example, there's a ridge in the fairway and it's like a huge drop off and then it's like into the green, right? So if I know that if the wind's not blowing dead in my face, I can hit a good drive and I can catch that ridge, but I'm going to be down on the bottom of the hill on the left side of the fairway underneath the tree, and I'm going to have a punch pitching wedge because there's a branch that hangs right there. Like it's the same fucking shot for me every time I play there, right? Like unless occasionally I'm having a bad day and I hit it like way right off the tee or way left or something like that. But like 7 or 8 times out of 10, I pummel the drive down the fairway. It catches the hill, it rolls all the way down. And then I have, like I said, I have that low, punchy pitching wedge into the green. Like that's just it, right? Like I could like mess around and like, oh, maybe I'll just hit hybrid off and have like, you know, 165 into the green and like hit a 7 iron from up high, still on the hill before I get down. Like I could do that, but like I usually don't. Um, but like I know like I hit the same fucking shot at every hole because I play there all the fucking time. Like the 11th hole, the par three that goes way up the hill. It's an 8 iron. I hit 8 iron all the time, every time, unless there's like crazy wind, right? Obviously, if there's crazy wind at my back, I'll hit a 9. Sometimes if it's right in my face, I'll go 7. Sometimes even still, the seven's a little bit too much and I end up over the back. But still, like I know, like I just know the course. I know I play the same fucking shots all the time. But I don't have that luxury at a place like like a Plymouth or like, any sort of competition, like somewhere I go, right? It's like, oh, okay, all right, let me figure this out here. And I like that. Like I like the, oh, what can I do here? Right? Type of stuff.
Let's the in when because there's a couple of things that can happen when it's a tournament or it's a new place. You will play worse. You have to. Like by definition, your skill has to drop a certain amount in competition because anytime that the stress goes up, your skill level decreases a bit.
Right.
Um, obviously that's like more like a theoretical thing because well, the first mass golf event I medaled, it's like, yeah, okay, so fine. But like, yeah, that's the thing is like practice, you should be at your highest skill. It diminishes a little bit when you hit the course. It diminishes a little bit when you hit a new course. It diminishes a little bit when you hit a competition. That's usually how it goes.
Right.
But I know for a fact that if I'm hitting it okay, because I've had tournaments where I'm not hitting it okay, and that's just a slog the whole time, it's always the doubles and more that
Right.
fucking kill you.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's Lou Sagner, right? Like like the main difference between a 15 handicap and or I think I forget whether he says a 15 or a 20, regardless, doesn't really matter. But the main difference between like a a higher handicap and a single digit is the doubles, right? He says it
yeah,
all the
'cause it's
time.
not
It's not
birdies.
birdies. It's not, you don't make more birdies. You just make less doubles.
Yeah. And Scott Fawcett with Decade, like that's why like his rating system is like, or like the things that he looks at, like his Tiger Five or whatever. And it's like bogeys from 150 and in, bogeys on par fives, two chips, three putts, and doubles.
Right.
So it's like almost like yes, they happen at like it's not 0%, but
Right.
if you get good in those areas, then a tournament can only get so far away from you.
Right. Right.
Now it's easier said than done.
Yeah, I'll leave Plymouth Country Club being like, holy shit, I just shot 102.
Dude, people leave I swear, I'm serious. People leave that place wondering what in the fuck just hit me.
I mean, so
And like at times, because it's generally pretty friendly off the tee,
yeah,
people leave there going, where, how, like
yeah, yeah,
what just hit me? Like, and it's like they're like, I feel like I was like, I hit it okay, and it's like that's because you didn't lose any golf balls. You
yeah,
weren't taking penalties, but you hit the approach into a bunker. Bunker shot's a little sketchy. Three putt, it's like, yeah, that was a quick double.
yeah. I feel
That can
like
happen with a chip.
given, well, let me see. I don't know. I'm not gonna like really put much to this. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Like given like my actual skill level and like the handicap or whatever, I feel like anything less than like a 93 would be like a great day for a competition round at a place I'd never played before that has seemingly, from what you said, diabolical greens, right? It's
Yeah,
like a 93 if a minus 15, that's a 78. That's a
I think
net
that's 78.
78,
Yeah, I
which
think.
is well, I would take that.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how it happens. Um, it depends on how it happens, and then also it's like I've left there with 6-3 putts before, and it's just like
Yeah,
one of those
woof.
things. Yeah, and I think I've left there another time with 5-3 putts, and I've been in groups with people who did the exact same.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just like you know the score is the score, but like it's like why did I three putt so many times? It's like well, hit it somewhere I couldn't. So it's like, could you have done anything? I go, Not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how mad can you be?
Right.
So like that's the other thing. So like if it's say it's like a 93 with fucking 6-3 putts and one of them was like a 4 putt, you're gonna feel great about that 93.
Yeah.
But if it's you're hitting a bunker shot on every hole and you're two chipping and
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
feel as good about it, it's like, man, I feel like that was just like a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a grind.
Yeah, because in that I've noticed that it feels like when you are in play off the tee and you throw up a high number, it feels like it was a lot more work than if you were like punching out,
Right.
laying up, whatever, and then like, still throw a high number, like even if it's the exact same score,
Right.
it feels like it was less work because you had to really kind of figure out less in a way.
Right.
Like if you hit seven punch out, so say on that day I had 6-3 on the 6-3 putts. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of mental energy. It's like I generally hit the ball okay, just couldn't get it in the cup. But if I had six punch outs and no three putts, I would have felt way better about that day,
Yeah.
even though it would have been the exact same score.
Right. Yeah. It's weird how that works.
Yeah, I mean that's just like an observation of mine is when you're chipping a lot and putting a lot, it feels like more of a grind than in the playoff that's tee than if you're kind of fucking hitting it all over the place, but the chips and the putts are going like okay. Because
Right.
it always feels like a save almost.
Yeah. So I don't know. I even how long we did almost an hour just on Plymouth Country Club.
Is that
Was that
right?
like 40? Was that like 40 minutes?
I don't even know. I don't even
Um,
know.
yeah, I don't even know what else we have here. Yeah, I think I'm good. Do you want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up. Um, as we approach summer, I could be creating a new style of food. It might be Italian barbecue fusion.
Ooh,
Now, I'm sure other people are doing that, but you got a little taste of it yesterday.
yeah, that was
Um,
fucking those gnocchi were unreal too. The porchetta obviously was the star of the show, but like the gnocchi were very like sneaky, second podium.
yeah, well, I was gonna say it's now the funny thing, yeah. So obviously to for anyone listening, like I had people over yesterday. I cook the way I want to. I also was talking to my neighbor this morning. And I forgot that like the way I cook is obviously way fucking unorthodox. So it's like I say it so casually, and he's like, "Oh man, you like really like do this." I go, "Oh yeah, fuck."
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I made a what I call a middle class porchetta because I made my poor man's a couple weeks ago. It was a pork butt that I butterflied. I used a pre-made pesto, rolled it up, cooked it. I actually made my filling. I guess it's a pest. I don't know. I don't think it's a pest. No, it's not a pesto because I didn't use it wasn't basil based. Um, on that idea, oil, herbs, garlic,
Yeah.
pistachios, whatever. And I used a sirloin roast, so that's why I called it middle class. I actually put in the work to do, and I used a little bit of a better cut. And I put that on the smoker, so that's like my Italian barbecue fusion-esque thing there. And then yes, I made my own, which I've done this a lot. I make my own gnocchi, and I baked it in the oven. I thought about throwing it on the Traeger, but um,
Ooh, yeah.
I just didn't. I
Yeah.
don't know. Doesn't really matter. Um, because I've done that before. I've smoked the baked pasta, and it's
Yeah.
it's good. It comes out good, so
Yeah.
it's an option. But I think that could be that could be the theme of this summer because like I don't always like especially when the house is hot, like I don't love making pasta. It gets warm.
Right.
I don't want to throw shit in the oven if I don't have to.
Right.
Um But even so, Vinny made pulled pork, so we had that left over. So I just took the Hawaiian roll, the sliders he had. I used the pulled pork. I threw a sweet cherry pepper on there, and I threw some of the hot
Ooh,
sauce, the pineapple, Scotch
yeah,
bonnet.
yeah.
Just threw that on there, and I'm like, "Yep, this is good too."
Which I totally forgot. I brought 4 bottles so that like everyone could take one and then forgot.
Yep, they're all at my house.
Yeah, now you have 4 bottles.
I'll bring some to work, but um, so yeah, I think that'll be the cooking theme of the summer. And
I like that.
I don't know how it's exactly gonna play out all the time, but can't be bad.
Yeah, no, definitely can't be bad. It makes me want to start making my own pasta.
Yeah, it's a fucking I will say it's a fucking thing.
I
Like,
know. I know. That's why I don't want to start doing it because I know. So this is the same thing. This is what happened to me, which I'm sure you have similar story. This is why I only make my own pizza dough now. Um, because once I've been making my own, like I feel like the one you're gonna get at Market Basket's just not the same, right? It just
no,
doesn't.
it's not. It doesn't taste and it like it doesn't taste the same, but it doesn't work the same. And actually it's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like if it
So
tasted a little different, that's fine. I just can't work them. I don't know.
so my thing is I know that if I start making my own pasta, I'm not gonna be able to go back.
You might be surprised though, because I do make my own pasta, but I still use a lot out of the box
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I guess
it's
it
too
just depends.
it's
It's a
too time
convenience
consuming.
factor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
time consuming. Um,
Because like for me too, I
especially
would
gnocchi, like the gnocchi I got to roast the potatoes.
right,
Then you got to rice the potatoes. Then you got to then you make your dough.
right.
And like you work the dough over for a few minutes. You let it sit for like a half an hour.
Do you have a
That
press, like a rice press, or do you just have a masher that you mash it with?
I have a press, the ricer.
Okay.
Um, so it's like, yep, I rice them, make the dough. The dough has to sit for a half an hour. Okay, then you can actually make them.
Yeah.
So you roll it out, you cut them. I put them on my little board. Then they sit there. It's like then you can actually like fucking make the food. It's like it's
Right.
a lot. It is.
When you make your own dough, do you make it the day before and let it sit? No, is it like
No,
instant?
same day. So
Okay.
if you're gonna make your own pasta, you want to make your dough, let it sit the half hour, make your shapes of whatever you're doing, and then um if you need to store it from there, you can. But fresh pasta kind of really maybe you could get it out of the second day.
Yeah.
Now I can freeze gnocchi.
No, I meant pizza dough. Right,
Oh,
like
pizza
the
dough.
yeah.
Pizza dough, I make
Sorry, I
it.
might have said pasta dough. I meant
I
pizza
think you
dough.
just said dough and I just assumed you meant
Oh
pasta.
yeah. Yeah.
Pizza dough. Pizza dough I put in the fridge overnight.
Okay.
So I make I mix everything in a big bowl and that chills for like an hour, I think. After the hour, I get it to the weights that I want, and then I ball them that day, put them in the fridge overnight. Then
Do
when I
you
wake up, I take them out.
do you oil them or do you flour them?
Flour.
Because I've
Because I
seen a lot
do,
of people oil them now. I get fed all kinds of shit
yeah.
now on Instagram.
So I flour them because that's more of like because I'm making a more Neapolitan dough, and that's like
Right.
a more Neapolitan style.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
The olive oil would be more of a New York style, but
Yeah.
that's how focaccia is made. So focaccia, I make the dough in a big bowl, oil it, make sure it's covered in oil, and then it sits in the fridge overnight.
Right.
Take it out in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was I had just like that Fleischmann's like pizza yeast, like in a packet or
Yep.
whatever that I was using, and it was instant and it was great. And then Market Basket doesn't have it anymore, so now I've been using like different yeast, and I noticed that it's not good when you try and make it instantly. So I've been just letting it rest. I let it rest for like a couple hours. Maybe I don't do it overnight, but I'm thinking about maybe doing it overnight next time. Um, but it made a huge difference, like a massive difference. And it's funny how just the different yeast and like not having the whatever Fleischmann's pizza dough yeast, um, you actually can't make it like in the moment that you just fucking put it together.
Yeah, so I have the jar of Fleischmann's. It's not the pizza dough branded one.
Yeah,
It's the blue one.
that's what I
Active,
have. That's what I
whatever.
have now. Yeah. And I
Um,
actually just bought a bag of some other yeast. I think it's like, Bob's Mill, I think is that brand.
mhm.
I bought yeast from them. So no, it's like just in a little bag. So I'm gonna give that a whirl next.
Yeah. The yeah, because that's the thing is like the Neapolitan one doesn't really use a lot of yeast, so I don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Um,
The pizza stone helps a lot now that I have the pizza stone.
yeah, I mean, my oven, my little pizza oven has a pizza stone,
Oh
so that's
yeah, that's true.
its
I forgot. Yeah, you have the pizza oven.
yeah.
Yeah. Fucker.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, again, I've because I want because this was one of my Italian things. Like I was watching a lot of the cooking videos, and then I kind of caught up. Actually, I don't know. I kind of caught up, and they kind of speak too fast. So I really wasn't. I was getting the recipes. So like even like my gnocchi, the dish I made is a gnocchi alla Sorrentina, which obviously from Sorrento.
Right.
It's a very simple tomato sauce. You mix in some mozzarella and then you top it and bake it. So it's
Right.
very simply a baked pasta, but yeah, so it is like technically a gnocchi alla Sorrentina. So I really quickly watched the video of like how did the guy from Napoli actually make this thing?
Right.
Um, but that's the thing, like when they make like when um the Southern Italians, the Neapolitans, when they make their pizza dough, they all made it the same. They all use like kind of like the same ratios. They always make it, it sits overnight, or they make it, let it chill, ball it, let it sit overnight. Next morning, then they work it and make it, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, that's what I've been kind of doing and sticking to.
Yeah.
Seems fine. Because they use a different type of yeast. Caputo sells it. It's called Levito. I think
Okay.
Levito. And it's a different type of yeast that doesn't need to be activated, whatever. But I'm like, there's so little yeast in this dough. I'm like, does it really matter
Yeah. Yeah.
that I don't use that? Especially because I'd have to order it because they don't sell it around here in stores.
Right. So that's uh that's your pizza talk or Italian fusion talk.
Italian barbecue fusion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. I bet I might fuck around with a little bit of that too
Well,
myself
so and
this
this
summer.
is like so
So
this is the way I see it is you've got it on two ends if you call it Italian barbecue fusion as I see it. So you can either make something Italian cooked in a low slow barbecue smoker type way. Hence like the porchetta. Like usually that's done over like a probably in a brick oven. I assume like that would be like the traditional way because I feel like everything was cooked in a brick oven in a traditional way. Their recipes are so fucking old that
yeah,
there was probably no gas ovens.
yeah, probably not.
Um, but I mean, like now a commercial kitchen's going to use a gas oven, even if it's brick.
Right.
Um, so yeah, so like porchetta cooked out on the smoker, not in an oven. That's like a very simple way to do it. Like if you wanna, make a baked pasta, but you cook it in the Traeger, so you just get like a little bit of smoke, like yeah, that's cool, whatever. It's like same idea.
Yeah.
The other way is to make something. traditionally traditional like American barbecue and then utilize it for Italian stuff. So it's like, some people smoke cheeses. I'm not doing that. Like cold smoke a cheese. Some people you could cold smoke like prosciutto. Like you could do that. I mean, that would be like American spec, I guess, in a way. Um, or it's like, hey, I'm gonna make pizza. I'll use like a very traditional like Italian style pizza, but my toppings are gonna be the brisket I made yesterday or
Right,
whatever.
right,
Like,
right, right, right.
um, because that's like another way to do it. And it's like it's not like any of this is like inherently kind of wrong. Because yes, the Italians have their traditional ways, but all of their traditional ways come from what is available to the region, really.
Right.
So it's like, you know, we can only cook outside realistically like a few months of the year. So it's like, yeah, okay, then it's when you cook outside, you cook outside. Like they do grill, like they do big things. They just don't really do like low and slow smoker stuff, I
Yeah.
believe. Like that would be very non-traditional. But at the same time, like a Neapolitan ragu is all of the types of meat that need to be low and slow. They're just cooked in a
Right,
red sauce all day.
right, right.
So that's the thing is like, because some it's like, oh, it's like, well, that's not traditional. Well, it's not supposed to be. I just made up a fucking name
Yeah.
for it. Italian barbecue fusion. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe I'll just maybe I'll just call it musical fusion for short. Um, yeah, I mean that's the idea is like if you really go back to the principles, like, well, what do you have available to you at the time? That's what you make.
Right, right.
That's why like the different regions, you know,
Have the
why
different
why
styles.
does fucking mozzarella buffalo mozzarella come from Campania? It's like, well, they have the buffalo.
Right,
Why does pecorino come from up north? Well, they have the sheep.
right.
Very simple.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right. My final thought. It should be a relatively quick one, but we got the official word. I know we've talked about this in the past. It is official, officially official. 2026, May of 2026, 1 year from now, effectively, the enhanced games will be taking place. So it is scheduled, it's ready to go. We've talked about it a little bit in the past, but for anyone that doesn't know what that is, it is effectively the Olympics that everyone is allowed and not only allowed, encouraged to take performance enhancing drugs, right? Whatever that
Yeah,
might be, whether it's,
technically an untested Olympics.
yes, yeah, yeah. So I've said it before, but I am all in on this. I want to see peak human performance. I don't care about someone being natural or not natural or PEDs. Gas these guys to the fucking gills and let's break some records, right?
So
Like,
so in that article I read, or if it wasn't that article, I read another one. There is a dude, he was a four-time Olympian. Like, because this is the other piece that like people are gonna forget. This is what it like what I'm about to outline is what it's gonna take for this to kind of like work. Dude's a four-time Olympian. He's done. He's retired. He's done his time, whatever. Now he won't say what he's on. He goes, I don't want people just like copying what I'm doing without the guise of a doctor. I go, you just don't want people copying what you're doing. Competitive advantage. I'm with you, but like,
right, right,
oh,
right,
it might
right.
not be safe without a doctor. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Uh, four-time Olympian, most recently in Paris. So that was what 2024. So this
yeah,
dude's like fresh off like retirement in a way. He already broke the swimming record, whatever the event. Well, it doesn't matter what event, but he already broke it, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
world record. Because that's like one thing they're doing is they're offering up a bounty. Whatever entity is running these games, they're offering up a bounty to break world records to like create publicity for the games.
right, right. And they're
Um,
actually paying the athletes too, like pretty well. Like if you go to the Olympics, I think if you win a gold medal, you get like 50 grand. Right? Like I
yeah,
think they're gonna pay
yeah, you
these
have to
guys
make it on
like I
endorsements.
think they're gonna pay them like $1 million.
I think it was $1 million if you break a world record. It's a
Yeah.
bounty.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's something like that.
Yeah.
Again, not a fact-based show. I only read over it quickly. Um, but yeah, that's the other piece too. Is like they just think, I was like, oh my god, all these steroid freaks. Like, no, no, no. It's going to take a top of the line athlete
Right.
that
Someone who is
then,
already an Olympian.
yes, and that's what I think. That's because I think what I said was, okay, you're gonna need someone that like if they take 10 guys in the final heat of like the 100 meter, you need number 11 to gas up and do this. I
Right.
kind of didn't even realize like, hey,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
retired
especially
competitors.
because
Because like, what if a number,
Olympians retire at like 30.
yeah, and I was gonna say, because if number 7 retires and then gasses up, it's like, well, he's gonna beat 11,
Right.
and maybe 1 through 6 are still active. Like, so that like
Right.
that's the type of person that I didn't foresee, but makes total sense.
Yeah.
And because that's the other thing is like it's an untested game, so everyone's like, oh my god, they're all on anabolic steroids. Like, no, they could be on
Right.
legal products, just banned in sport,
Right. Right.
namely HGH and testosterone. I mean, I don't think you really need
Yeah. I mean, it's
for
almost
athletic
a
performance. I mean, you know better than I do, but for athletic performance, do you really need much more than that?
no. The only thing I was going to say is it's almost guaranteed that anyone that's an endurance athlete is probably on EPO.
Yes. Yep.
But I mean, other than those three,
Yeah, and then like
like,
if they do shooters, like they'll be on beta blockers, but like
and
that's
like
hyper specific stuff.
that's the thing that I think people kind of lose sight of is testosterone, HGH, and EPO are really all you need. The reason why athletes get crazy and do other stuff is because they get tested. So
Yeah.
they have to get creative and they have to do goofy shit and find a
Or
different product or
and
find
the only
this or
other
do
way is
that.
some people are bodybuilders, so they need agents to like lean them out
Right.
or
Right.
um whatever. Again, I don't remember all of my straws and draws and
Yeah. Yeah. But like again, outside of testosterone, EPO, and HGH, like that's kind of really all you need.
get you pretty far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you are Olympic level competitor with a good work ethic, it actually
Right.
kind of takes care of itself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited to watch them. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, I guess. I hope it works out for them. I really do. And again, I want to see peak human performance. That's all I care about, right? Like I want to see people run fast, jump high, you know, swim fast, like do whatever. Like just fucking do it better than anyone else.
And it is funny, I wonder, because obviously its popularity will be guided by how the media portrays it.
Oh
And I
yeah.
don't know how that'll go. But
Yeah.
it's like when the Olympics are going to flag football and breakdancing, this
Right.
entity is going to like Freak Show Central. Let's fucking rock.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. That's going to do it for us. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit subscribe up above. Hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're an audio only guy as well. Instagram is Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. Check out the show notes. Support the sponsors. And until next time, good night, everybody.